the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune and turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. In shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go.
No more would I go along with Plato in exiling the poets, who play on the limbic cortex. Not even they are powerful enough to evoke the whole of man. If we are to survive our own destruction of our world and of ourselves by our advance of culture, we had better learn soon to modify our genes to make us more intelligent. It is our last chance, that by increasing our diversity we may be able to make some sort of man that can survive without an ecological niche on this our earth. We may be able to live in gas masks and eat algae and distill the ocean. I doubt that we have time enough. We are, I think, nearing the end of a course that left the main line of evolution to over-specialize in brain to its own undoing. Time will tell. Warren S. McCulloch. Warren Sturgis McCulloch was a significant figure in the development of cybernetics, an interdisciplinary field focused on the study of control and communication in both living organisms and machines. He was a key participant in the Macy conferences on cybernetics, which were crucial in shaping the field's early concepts and directions. McCulloch's background in neurophysiology, psychiatry, mathematics, and philosophy allowed him to bring a unique perspective to the discussions. His work with Walter Pitts on the McCulloch-Pitts neuron, a foundational model in artificial neural networks, also contributed to cybernetics by suggesting a computational basis for brain function, a central theme in cybernetic thought. McCulloch's influence extended to viewing the brain as an information processing system, a concept heavily explored within cybernetics. He was also the first president of the American Society for Cybernetics, further solidifying his role as a founder of the discipline. Warren Sturgis McCulloch was born in Orange, New Jersey, in 1898. His father, James W. McCulloch, was a self-made businessman, and his mother, Mary Hughes Bradley McCulloch, came from a religious Southern family. He had an older half-brother and a younger sister, Margaret. McCulloch's early life included summers spent on Nantucket Island, where he developed a fondness for the sea. Initially intending to enter the Christian ministry, he enrolled at Haverford College in 1917 but soon found his interests shifting towards philosophy and mathematics. He transferred to Yale University to join the Naval Training Unit during World War I and completed his Bachelor of Arts degree in Philosophy and Psychology in 1921. Continuing his academic pursuits at Columbia University, he earned a Master of Arts degree in Psychology in 1923 and later an MD from the Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons in 1927, marking a significant turn towards the study of the human mind and nervous system. McCulloch's early publications and research began to take shape during his time at various hospital appointments and his return to Yale as a Sterling Fellow in the mid-1930s. While not a traditional PhD dissertation, his work during this period can be seen as a series of investigations that foreshadowed his later groundbreaking contributions. He engaged in neurophysiological research, notably in the laboratory of Dussert de Baron at Yale, where he studied the cerebral cortex of primates. These early papers focused on mapping the functional pathways within the brain through techniques like strychnine neuronography, which involved observing how the application of strychnine to one area of the brain affected activity in other areas. This work aimed to understand the fundamental organization of the central nervous system and how different brain regions were interconnected and influenced each other. What is a number? That a man may know it, and what is a man? That he may know a number. Symposium on Foundations of Mathematics, dedicated to Rudolf Carnap, 1940. This early work reflects his philosophical interests intertwined with mathematical concepts. In 1941, McCulloch moved to the University of Illinois at Chicago to direct the research laboratory at the newly established Illinois Neuropsychiatric Institute. Here, he continued his investigations into the brain's functional organization and also collaborated with psychiatrist Lottie S. J. Meduna on the relationship between epilepsy and schizophrenia. However, his primary focus increasingly shifted towards theoretical work, particularly in collaboration with the young mathematician Walter Pitts, who he had invited to live with his family. Their groundbreaking work on the logical calculus of the nervous system continued to develop during this period. Finality and Form in Nervous Activity 1942, an earlier exploration of the teleological aspects of neural function. In 1943, Warren Sturgis McCulloch, a neurophysiologist, and Walter Pitts, a mathematician, published a seminal paper titled A Logical Calculus of the Ideas Immanent in Nervous Activity. This work introduced the McCulloch-Pitts MCP neuron, the first computational model of a biological neuron. Inspired by their understanding of the all-or-none firing principle of actual neurons, they conceptualized a simplified artificial neuron as a binary threshold unit. This model neuron receives multiple binary inputs, each potentially weighted. It then sums these weighted inputs and compares the sum to a predefined threshold. If the sum meets or exceeds the threshold, the neuron fires and produces a binary output, otherwise, it remains inactive. Crucially, McCulloch and Pitts demonstrated that networks of these simplified artificial neurons could, in principle, perform any logical function. By carefully configuring the connections between these units and setting appropriate thresholds, they showed how fundamental logical gates like AND, OR, and NOT could be implemented. This was a profound insight, suggesting that the complex computations performed by the brain might arise from the interactions of many simple, neuron-like elements operating according to logical rules. Their work was deeply influenced by the mathematical logic of the time, particularly the ideas of Alan Turing regarding computation. The McCulloch-Pitts neuron provided a concrete link between the abstract world of logic and the biological reality of the nervous system, proposing that neural activity could be understood in computational terms. This foundational model became a cornerstone for the burgeoning fields of cybernetics and artificial intelligence, providing an initial blueprint for how artificial systems could potentially process information in a way analogous to the brain. While significantly simplified compared to biological neurons, the MCP neuron was a crucial first step in formalizing the concept of neural computation and laid the groundwork for the development of more sophisticated artificial neural networks in subsequent decades. It established the idea that the brain could be viewed as a computational device, a concept that continues to be central to neuroscience and artificial intelligence research. Of Digital Prophylaxis 1945, this paper touches on the application of logical principles to understanding and potentially preventing mental disorders. 1945, a hierarchy of values determined by the topology of nervous nets. This early paper explores how the specific interconnected structure topology of neural networks could give rise to a complex, non-hierarchical hierarchical system of values or priorities within the nervous system. It suggests that the way neurons are wired influences what is considered important or salient to the organism. A major development in McCulloch's career was his central role in the Macy Conferences on Cybernetics, which began in 1946 and continued until 1953. He served as the chairman of these influential interdisciplinary meetings, which brought together thinkers from diverse fields such as mathematics, neuroscience, anthropology, psychology, and engineering. These conferences were crucial in shaping the field of cybernetics, exploring concepts like feedback, information theory, and control mechanisms in biological and artificial systems. McCulloch's intellectual leadership and his ability to synthesize ideas from different disciplines were instrumental to the success and impact of these conferences. He also edited the proceedings of these conferences, which became foundational texts for the field. The 1947 paper How We Know Universals, The Perception of Auditory and Visual Forms by Warren Sturgis McCulloch and Walter Pitts explores how the brain recognizes abstract concepts or universals from sensory input, specifically focusing on auditory and visual forms. Towards some circuitry of action and perception teleological mechanisms Conference, 1948, explores the neural mechanisms underlying behavior and perception. The Brain as a Computing Machine Electrical Engineering, 1949, this paper discusses the implications of his earlier work for understanding the brain's computational capabilities. The Engineering of the Brain Electronics, 1949, another perspective on the brain as an engineered system. Why the Mind is in the Head Hickson Symposium, Cerebral Mechanisms in Behavior, 1951. A significant contribution to the mind-body problem from a cybernetic perspective. In 1952, McCulloch moved to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology (MIT) to join the Research Laboratory of Electronics, where he worked alongside Norbert Wiener, another key figure in the development of cybernetics. At MIT, he continued his research on brain function within the framework of information processing and cybernetic principles. He attracted numerous talented students and collaborators, further contributing to the growth of these interdisciplinary fields. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, while the field of artificial intelligence began to emerge more distinctly, McCulloch maintained a complex relationship with it. While his work on the McCulloch-Pitts neuron was a fundamental inspiration for early neural networks, he sometimes expressed skepticism towards the more applied and engineering-focused approaches of early AI, emphasizing the importance of understanding the biological brain. Through the Den of the Metaphysician Daedalus, 1958, reflects on philosophical implications of his work. Hierarchy of Values Determined by the Topology of Nervous Nets with Jerome Y. Letvin, National Institute of Radio Engineers, 1959, discusses the complex organization of neural networks and their role in determining values. 1959, What the Frog's Eye Tells the Frog's Brain, this highly influential paper, co-authored with Letvin, Maturana, and Pitts, investigated the processing of visual information in the frog's retina and optic nerve. It revealed that the frog's eye doesn't simply transmit a picture to the brain but rather extracts specific, behaviorally relevant features like small, moving dark spots through specialized neural circuits. This highlighted the active role of sensory processing in shaping perception. McCulloch remained at MIT for the rest of his career, continuing to explore the theoretical underpinnings of the mind and brain through the lens of logic, computation, and cybernetics. He was recognized as a leading intellectual figure who significantly shaped our understanding of the relationship between the brain, the mind, and machines. In 1964, he was elected as the first president of the American Society for Cybernetics, a testament to his foundational role in the field. Warren Sturgis McCulloch passed away on September 24, 1969, at the age of 71. His death occurred in Old Lyme, Connecticut, where he had likely retired or was spending his later years. The specific cause of his death isn't always prominently detailed in general accounts of his life, but it marked the end of a highly influential career that spanned neuroscience, psychiatry, and the foundational development of cybernetics and artificial intelligence. His passing signified a loss for the interdisciplinary scientific community he helped to build, leaving behind a legacy of groundbreaking theoretical work on the computational nature of the brain and the principles of control and communication in complex systems. His contributions continued to inspire and shape research in these fields long after his death. 1969, Recollections of the Many Sources of Cybernetics, published posthumously in 1974, this piece reflects on McCulloch's personal experiences and insights into the diverse intellectual origins and influences that contributed to the development of the field of cybernetics. It offers a historical perspective on the interdisciplinary roots of this field, drawing from mathematics, engineering, biology, and philosophy. Because of the all-or-none character of nervous activity, events, and the relations among them can be treated by means of propositional logic. It is found that the behavior of every net can be described in these terms, with the addition of more complicated logical means for nets containing cycles, and that for any logical expression satisfying certain conditions, one can find in net behaving ever fashion it describes. Warren S. McCulloch.
Mics on the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark, unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No light, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Hidden in shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just the beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go. Pure and raw. Pure and raw. Silence break, raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Pure and raw.
Play.